You need a footballing board within.
Yeah,
You're the financial
yeah.
board. This is the thing with Arsenal and United. You need a football board.
I've never seen a club that is so stingy and still somehow manages to spend so much money and just pisses it down the drain.
Your standards have dropped. I thought they would not have existed under Fergie sides, man.
Discuss things like, the future direction of the club. What do you want fans to say? Oh, we've been shit since 2004.
Chelsea are ruthless. City are ruthless.
Yeah.
They got rid of Aguero. He's 32, he's still banging in goals. Got rid of him. They are willing to let go of people.
Save yourself money, pay me 500 quid a week, pay you 500 quid a week, and I'll play right back and you can take left back. It's no difference. You're still doing it now. It was 10 years ago.
It doesn't make any financial sense to have offer.
It makes none.
And then you can't sell them because who else is going to pay the wages at that rate?
How can you go into this season? We've had Xhaka join in like 2016, I think, and so did El Neni. It's been 5 years. They're still starting in midfield.
So we've got 3 holes to fill in the squad. We saw at 1 or 2. Then the following season, something happens in another position, and then we fill out the one we're supposed to fill in the season before. We leave the new one, and then there's always something to fill in.
Hello and welcome to 86 Armored. This is the first episode of the GurmsNCobs podcast. So we got Gurm on the cob, man. We got Gurm on the cob. I've just moved home, so this is going to be a bit bare bones in terms of our introduction, images and all the rest of it. Please like, please subscribe, please share. On these podcasts, they're going to be weekly, and we're basically just going to have a very wide-ranging discussion about everything and anything to do with Arsenal, United. My friend Gurmuk is a United fan, and football. So strap in, man. Strap in. It's going to be a wild ride. Welcome to 86 Armored. That's it. That's the intro, man. That's all we got. My name is Tarai. I'm speaking with my good friend Gurmuk.
Hey guys.
There we go. So yeah, we know each other from college, which was like, what, 2012?
That's when we
2010.
Ended college. 2010. It's been about 11 and a bit years, yeah.
2010, yeah. Yeah. Wow. So yeah, and we met up like a couple of weeks ago or last week, and we thought, screw it, we may as well do a podcast. So
yeah.
This is a podcast.
Yeah. This is a pod, yeah. Tara, you're an Arsenal fan, I'm a United fan. I think we can share a lot of things with our own owners, both American. They're both pricks,
Yep. Yep.
So there's a lot to talk about in terms of the Super League. I think we're both passionate in the aspect of football alongside our club support. So yeah, let's go ahead, man. Let's go ahead.
Cool. So yeah, we said we'd do like a funny story. So I'm going to do my funny story because I didn't tell Gurmuk in advance. So this was like, Gurmuk, when we knew him back at college, was like so peaceful and like very, very, very chilled. So chilled, in fact, that there was a day when he was walking across the street with this pasty he bought from Greg's, and we were going to we were like 16 at the time, and we were going to college, and this guy comes out with a pasty at Greg's, and he's walking across the road, and there's one of these guys in like the typical blacked out wheeled BMWs or whatever, like flooring it, and the guy was doing like a solid 80, and Kermic's just slowly walking across the road, and we all looked at him like, you're literally about to die from this car hitting you. And I swear to God, if the side mirror didn't touch your bag straps, like the wind was so close that your bag straps went flying everywhere, and I genuinely thought you were gonna die. And you didn't look up once, man. You're still looking at the pasty. I was like, dude, it's only from Greg's. Like, it's not worth it, man. It's seriously not worth it.
You know what? This is also kind of funny about this year. I was still like, Friends. You watch Friends?
No, I never watched it. Only on and off.
No, the food. Basically, I called Joey Tribbiani. I'm sure a lot of the viewers who are watching, when we can reference this, they're in a car, and there's three friends, and Joey, one of them, the gunshot goes off, and it's towards the car. Apparently, that's what they assumed at the time. And Joey's in the far left side. He dives in front of his friend on the far right side, with the bullet supposedly coming from.
Right. And
his friends are, oh my God, you saved me, this and that. And the middle friend got jealous because he's like, you're saving him, not me. I know we'll be lacking a life and death scenario. Turns out afterwards, he goes, the reason I did that is because I wanted to save my sandwich.
Oh my God. Yeah, you would definitely have jumped in front of a bullet for that pasty, man. Jeez. Honestly.
Being born and bred on the food, man. Yeah. Very vaguely remember that, but different times, man. Things have changed so much.
Yeah.
Football, everything, man. We've gone through a lot of things together, man. But
Yep.
yeah, here we are.
Yeah,
So
here we are talking about our
yeah,
shit clubs.
yeah, shit
So
clubs, yeah.
yeah, I'll ask you first. What do you think? Like, what are your thoughts ahead of the season for United? Because like I'm not really clued up on them properly either. I just know that United fans are kind of as unhappy as Arsenal fans. But like for Arsenal fans, we're eighth, you finish second. But I know you still have the problems behind the scenes. So like, what's your view on everything?
Yeah, it's a mixed one right now. I mean, in terms of this current circumstance, there's clashing things. I mean, on one hand, you have the transfer window, which I think is probably being, as it stands, the best transfer window I've experienced as a United fan for the last probably since 2007. That's the season where we
Damn.
brought in like four players, Tevez, Hargreaves, to win the Champions League the following year. You know, we brought a lot of players all early, June, July, for preseason. It's been a good 14 years. And you know what? Like, we got Varane in this time. We need a defender. We need a right winger. Their first priority. Normally, each manager's given they have a checklist to their owners or board and say, look, I want these are my priority players. We got them. We needed them.
All right.
We just need a CDM now. But this leads to another problem because the problem we've been getting reports on recently is we need to sell to buy.
Yeah.
We've
Same as
got a lot
Arsenal.
of dead. Yeah, we've got a lot of deadwood. Matic, Dan James,
Matic is
Fred,
still there.
Tom, all these guys. Yeah, I'm like, you know what? People. I got fans coming up. Oh yeah, the brilliant players, brilliant players. I'm like, your standards have dropped. I go, they would not have existed under Fergie sides, man.
So what about McTominay? Because I thought he was supposed to be quite a good player.
He's all right, but he's a good bench player.
Right.
He's not. But the problem. The other thing is he doesn't get used in the correct position. He's a box to box. He said himself. He's good at taking shots outside the box so he can run in, but he's not a CDM. He can't
Right.
control the ball and hold it and pass it out. There's been a number of mistakes by him and Fred where they can't do a 10-yard pass. They can't.
This
The
is like
pass them
Xhaka and El
opposition.
Neni, man.
Huh?
This sounds like Xhaka and El Neni. As soon as you said mistakes passing from the back and stuff like that, I was like, here we go. Here we go. Seriously, I spent like the whole day, because I didn't have like any recording time until the evening. So I spent like the whole day looking up Arsenal news, and all there is just people talking about Xhaka and his mistakes because they've given him like another 4-year deal.
Oh yeah, contract. I just heard. Yeah.
Come on, man. Like,
This is the man. You know what? It's the same stuff in your club as well, man. Like it's just stalling of like deadwood players, and like they're not being let go and proceeding with. You also have issues like giving contracts to the wrong people. Like Phil Jones, bro. This guy, yeah. He's a dream job, Phil Jones. He's been sitting out of football for 2 years and he's getting paid 100K a week, man. What a
he's on
dream, man.
100 grand.
100 grand.
I mean,
He's
even
like
for
100K.
you, 100 grand.
A week. We gave him a new contract 2 years ago. Should not have never been given. Never been given.
How old
We
is he
give
now?
excess wages. We give excess wages. That's the United board for you. Yeah. He's been out. When's the last time you heard of Phil Jones playing for United?
I forgot I forgot he existed, to be honest with you.
Exactly. He's been on the treatment table apparently for 2 years as well. I saw him a picture yesterday, actually. I finally in training, so he's back. But even then, he's gonna get played. But
Right, so I've got a question. I've got a question.
Next year.
Who
Yeah.
do you think has the worst deadwood on high wages? So Alfarium for Arsenal. Are you sure?
United.
What about Kolasinac?
Huh?
What about Kolasinac? He's on like 120, 130 grand a week, man.
Oh, we're worse. We've got a subs. We've got our bench goalie on 200K a week. Fucking Henderson.
Wait. Dean Henderson.
Dean Henderson's a
Did
mad
you just
wages,
say
man.
you just said 200 grand?
Something like along those lines. He got a 5-year contract last year.
What the fuck?
They,
Seriously, he's on 200 grand.
Someone said, and I'm not know if it's 100% yet. The time it's taken us to make a decision on who's first goalie and who's second, or which one we should let go of, because they both want to be first, first choice.
Yeah.
Goalie, you need to know who's your first choice. There's one position. You need, because it's for the goalie's confidence, because they're going to be like, oh, what if it isn't me next? Did I do something wrong? They're a confidence position, goalies. You need confidence in them. From what I'm being told, well, from what someone said, it may be wrong, but apparently it will cost over 50 million over 2 years. So this is like halfway now. But by end of next season, we still got them both, and we're still being indecisive about who's first. It would cost us 50 million in wages.
What do you think about the hair?
He's improved a hell of a lot this last season. He's not what he was from 2018 World Cup onwards.
Mm.
It's a hard one. It really is a hard one. I mean,
I think you should
he's
cash in,
improved.
man.
Huh?
I think you should cash in if you could. No, but look, so if you've got Henderson, who is a decent enough backup, right?
He is, but the problem, he still has a few question marks. One, first and foremost, yeah, he hasn't played in front of a full 75,000 crowd stadium yet. He's just had
All
COVID.
right.
Now he's going to get truly tested and the whole full capacity of supporters are back in stadiums. Let's see what the pressure is. Secondly, he did have some errors and mistakes in the Sheffield United game back in, I think it was last December when we were in their place against Liverpool, the 4-2 loss we had. He made a few blunders as well, man. So he still has question marks sometimes, and I think De Gea has been more consistent. And yeah, but the different type of goalies. One's a sweeper. De Gea is a shot stopper. But with Varane now, maybe we'll have less shots taken at us and maybe less needed. So who knows? It's a toughie. But at the same time, United's manager's position or even the board, you need to be flipping ruthless, man. Chelsea are ruthless. City are ruthless.
Yeah.
They got rid of Aguero. He's 32. He's still banging in goals. Got rid of him. Gone. They're willing to let go of people. Werner just bought him last year with Chelsea. You're going to be a main man. You're not done well. We want to get Haaland.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
It's ruthlessness. No one, we don't, your club, my club, we don't have ruthlessness. No way. The board are absolute joke. Both of us. Absolute joke. And it needs, we were discussing this just before the video. We're talking about fan ownership in our clubs.
Yeah.
There's prospects where you got 50+1 with the government. I don't know what's going on with that. The Glazers had a fan forum back in June about this fan share thing. Having some.
Oh yeah. So on that topic, right? Do you know what the Kroenke said to Arsenal fans? They basically they said where like all of the other clubs were giving golden share or whatever this nonsense was. Kroenke said basically, do you remember ever hearing about the old AGMs that Arsenal do?
Old
AGMs, annual general meetings for shareholders. So basically,
no, I've not really heard a lot of that. I got an idea of what that means.
So basically, they'd have like shareholders. I don't know if all of them were invited, but I think all of them had the right to attend or something. And they'd go to these meetings, and literally the shareholders would like ask Arsenal questions, and Arsenal would basically just fob them off and tell them to go fuck themselves. And so what the Kroenkes have offered is basically they said the Arsenal fans can meet us in the board like twice a year. You can ask questions. We'll discuss things like, the future direction of the club. And it's like, what do you want fans to say? Oh, we've been shit since 2004. Like, you know what I mean? You're going to discuss the future direction of the club. And everything they say basically is we're going to discuss this. We're going to discuss that. We're going to discuss this and that. And we may take that feedback into account in any decisions. So every other club has been, even though like in reality, you're probably not going to have a say, like the other clubs seem to have actually tried to make an effort. The Kroenkes have literally just said, we'll meet you twice a year and you can go fuck yourself.
That's mad.
Like they're a shambles, man. Honestly, they're just nuts. They're another level. They're another level of just arseholes.
But at least you had flipping contact. But for Glazers, first time Glazers ever engaged in any kind of fan like interaction since 2000. They've never had it, in fact. They've never had engagement with the fans. This is the first one in 16 years. And they come apologizing. Oh, we didn't know that was the case. Crap, man. Because I know, okay, so I know you've had like, if you look at your model of your club in terms of the business aspect, same with us, yeah? Okay, we both have great revenue streams, but what we run as a football club?
No, but we don't have great revenue streams, though. That's the thing. You have great. This Man United fans, I don't think realize how far Arsenal dropped off.
No?
Excluding COVID, Arsenal made a loss of like 30 to 40 million last year, and the year before that they made a loss as well.
Net loss.
Yeah, the only thing that keeps Arsenal fans that keeps the club afloat is the Emirates, because the match day revenue, and there was no match day revenues, and even then, like when they dropped out of Champions League, that was it. It's been a loss ever since.
Yeah, significant amount.
Do you remember when we used to get kit deals and it would be like, I don't know, Arsenal have got a record-breaking kit deal for like 50 million a season, and then United turn around, they're like, we're getting paid 95 million, like 150 million a year or some foolishness. Like commercially, they're totally different animals. Like it's literally like if I owned one bus, like I am Arsenal and you own like the national fleet of coaches in the entirety of UK, that is United. Like they're just miles apart now, man. They're not even
Yeah,
comparable.
yeah. We still can't. Yeah, still we still haven't won a trophy in Premier League in 10 years. I know you've been a bit longer, but like it just shows we've got the resources, but we're still doing shit. So, but at
When was
least
your
you got
last
that, huh?
when was your last major trophy? Excluding Europa League and not including the Stupid Carling Cup, like League Cup, I mean the FA Cup or League.
FA Cup 2016, League Cup 2013, five
Okay.
years minimum. Europa and League Cup was 2017.
Yeah, Mourinho.
It's been a while, but it's both our clubs are run like businesses, man. Like the whole it's all about saving money and dividends, right? Pretty much dividends. And I look at it like this, and I've never understood this. Yeah, now we discussed this in this conversation in this video.
Mm.
You guys offer high wages, yeah, and
Yep.
you keep them. You offer them to these stupid players. Same with us. We got a lot of dead order as well.
So
100K,
you just
200.
made me think of William because he's on like 190 something
Yeah,
grand.
what's going on with William, bro? Like, you know what? A lot of our players, like we go, I know we got Cavani, but you know what? Cavani for us was it just happened to work out, fortunately for us.
Mhm.
Yeah, even that was a panic buy.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course, of
I remember
course.
getting Fellaini once flipping Fergie left and we got Moyes. You know what I mean? Moyes came out, I wanted Fabregas and bloody
Oh God.
Tony Cruz. Yeah, Tony Cruz came out. He goes, I was
Oh
gonna
man.
go to United that summer. He goes, but he went to Madrid the following season or something. But you know what? All these wages, all these owners, yeah, these two American owners, Glazers and Kroenkes, they're like, oh yeah, make money on it, money. Okay, hi, why are you putting all these wages up? Be smart business wise. You know, smart business wise. Have a wage cap, yeah. Don't put these. Give contracts based on performance. If they're shit, move them on. Then
So
you
you
keep the
just made
wage.
me
You
think of
control your
all of the shit
wages.
players, man.
It
Like I
doesn't
just
make
got a
any
flash
logical
of all
financial
of the shit
sense.
players in my head. Like
But Tara, you know, it doesn't make any financial sense
no,
to have
it
offer.
makes none.
And then you can't sell them because who else is going to pay the wages at that rate? We
Well,
can't
that's the
we can't get
thing,
rid of our
man.
deadwood because of the wages. Oh yeah, we're giving you 200K, Mr. Matic, he used to be world class Matic, but not
What?
anymore.
He's on 200 grand.
Right,
You're
around
even worse than
150.
Arsenal, man.
He might be on
In terms of
150,
the
but
lack of common sense.
our wages are mad high. Martial's on like 200 and something. Rashford's on like 250 maybe. It's ridiculous. Fernandez is a little lower, but I think we've increased his rage. But you know what? He's earned it. Some players have earned it, like certain number of goals.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ronaldo,
Of
Messi.
course.
Okay, you'll have your one off, but not every bloody player, man.
But you
You
know
should
what the
get. I
thing
think
is with your club, right? Like the thing I think your problem is just that you don't have any footballing know-how. Like from
we don't.
Arsenal's sense, I've never seen a club that is so stingy and still somehow manages to spend so much money and just pisses it down the drain. Like you're
Well,
either a
yeah.
cheapskate or you're just pissing money like United. Arsenal somehow do both. Like, how is that possible? How can you be a cheapskate yet you pay like 50 million, what 35 million for Mustafi, 35 for
Yeah,
Xhaka?
yeah.
You sell Martinez for 17 million, and then you're linked to Ramsdale for like 28 million. Like, what is going on?
I know.
Like seriously, they sold Nabry for like what 5 million, and
Oh
I
my
don't know if
god.
when
Gnabry's
was that?
beast.
Around 2012? Because I was pissed back then, and I've never let it go because it fucked me off back then, and it still annoys me now.
Well,
And we
he
let him
won the
go for
Champions League with them.
nothing.
He won the
No,
Champions League last season with them. The season before.
it's not even that, man. It's just like it's just the same thing. So Nabry, the reason why he left was because his contract ran down to the final year. You're still doing it now. It was 10 years ago. Like, what's going on here, man? And then and then you pay 72 million for Pepe. Like, if you're going to spend
Mad.
72 million for someone, I know they had installments, but why don't you go and spend 72 million on Jaden Sancho or something like Pepe?
Thank you. Someone
What the hell,
solid.
man?
Yeah, I know, world class.
I don't
I'm
get it.
shocked. It's you know what? It's this you know what it is, yeah. Like it makes perfect sense with what you said as well. Like where we stingy like silly money. Like we spent apparently over a billion from Arnold since Fergie's gone. No, we've done F all.
Oh
City
my
we have
God.
spent probably about another 200 million more. Okay, they've spent, but they've won shit.
Yeah.
They got
Yeah.
they've won stuff. Okay, and they went to a Champions League final. They're generally getting better. We won shit all. Yeah. Now here's a question: you spend the same amount of money. Is it the owner's fault that they're not being stingy? It's being spent. But the problem is, why haven't you got only this summer we've had a director of football? Is that the
Mm.
reason we've got Varane Sancho? Varane was a steal.
Who's your
35
director of
mil.
football?
35 mil. Well, we've got one apparently. We appointed one within
Oh,
the
do you know who it
structure.
is, or is it just like behind the
That,
scenes?
guy called John Murtaugh or something like that. He's Murtaugh
Right.
and Darren Fletcher. He's a technical director, ex
Okay.
CDM for us. But we still got the same negotiator. But you need a footballing board within. You
Yeah.
got the
Yeah.
financial board. This is the thing with Arsenal and United. You need a football board. Literally, director of football. You got the youth academy, everything. How you bringing up? What sort of players you want to scout? How much are you willing to? What's your wage caps? How much are you going to players you're going to keep in the squad,
Mm.
like the first team squad? How many are going to leave? You need a bloody. It's like an operating procedure for every aspect, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
you going to
Yeah.
negotiate? What? Why do you want this player? Why would you pay? What's the criteria for £70 million player?
Well, that's
Things
the
like
thing.
that.
Like
It has to
that
be done.
that clown. Oh yeah, there's my finger. So I'm trying to point at Cronky. So
Backwards like this.
uh
I don't know if you get if you
oh
do
wait.
that.
Oh yeah, there
Yeah,
we
you
go.
got it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So yes,
Yeah.
that clown there
That
behind me,
yank.
right?
Yeah.
Like when you look at the footballing setup at Arsenal, apart from Edu and Arteta, because they have a say in transfers, and like I'm trying to think because I covered the behind the scenes thing. So we got Richard Garlick this year, who has got like experience as a director of football, I think it is at West Brom,
What
and
does
he was at the
Edu?
Premier League. No,
Is it
Ed.
Edu?
So Richard Garlick is the what the hell is he? He's not the director of football. He's something else. No, or is he director of football? I can't remember because Edu is like not director of football. He's technical director.
Mm.
But basically, they got in Richard Garlick to kind of help everything out. But apart from that, this summer, like we don't have any like actual footballing people. Like Raul Sanlehi
Mm.
was his background is like corporate side. So he worked for like Nike and brands like that. So it's no surprise that this idiot comes in and he's like dumping 72 million on players with dodgy deals. And you know what I mean? Doing shit like
Yeah.
agent contact lids because he comes from the corporate world. He's not a
Yeah.
footballer. Like you look at Bayern Munich, how comes they have great transfers? Recently, anyway, they had a bad spell, but you look at
Yeah.
their board, it's all legends of the damn club that know football. Who's on your board? Who's on my board? Seriously, on
Yeah.
the Arsenal board, there's only one non-American, for God's sake. None of them have anything to do with football.
It's still about the money, bro. Like Van Persie, I know you
Yeah,
guys hate him, but you know what? He did come out
not
with a
me.
good story when he left.
I
Like,
respect him. I respect
sure.
him.
Yeah.
Arsenal fans are stupid. Everything he said was right. Everything he said, he had a point at the time. And when you see him now, he was definitely right. And people call him Van Pagan. What do you
Yeah.
want him to
So
do? Piss his career down the drain?
So the meeting they had, innit? When he had the
Yeah,
I think it was
yeah,
Conte when he left. He goes,
yeah.
I think he goes, I want to leave. I want to go win. I want to leave to go United or whatever. And I think it was Cronke, one of your directors who associated with him.
Showed him a
Yeah,
spreadsheet.
yeah, and he goes, why would you want to leave? We're not in debt or something. I'm like, we make this much money. I'm like, are you thick? From
Oh
a
man.
footballer's perspective, yeah. Nowadays it's probably more they want their wages, yeah. It's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
known
yeah,
thing,
yeah.
yeah. You know what? So they do want to win stuff.
Mm.
They do want to win stuff.
Yeah,
And
of course,
in
of
back
course, of
10 years
course.
ago, Van Persie, when he came to United, he said, I want to win trophies. You know,
Mm.
obviously that was Fergie's last season, so he only won a bloody Premier League title with us. That's it. But even then, he got a league title. But this is the problem. It's all about flipping finance. Even then, they can't even bloody spend money properly. They don't use it
Yeah.
properly. I'm just like, so what are you there for? You're a businessman. Does it not make logical sense that you should have wage caps and have smart people in your business from a football perspective and the business side? So you
Yeah, of
increase
course.
revenue, and then you make sure you get the best value, but really good players because you want to improve your football positioning on the table to make Champions League, make money, increase your fan base. Man City, do you know the new kids coming? All these kids are in freaking City kids
Yeah, I
from these
know.
days.
Have you
They've
seen how
done it.
many? Yeah. I was gonna say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
City
I
fans,
saw it the
mad.
other day. Like around here as well, East London. What kind of who on earth do you ever see anyone in East London even in anything other than a like London-based team anyway? Like be real, like obviously in the
Well,
Asian community there's a lot of United fans, but in general, when you're in East London, you don't see United kids. You're the only one.
yeah. Yeah, that was zipped up when he went the West Ham Stadium the other day, innit? I was like,
Yeah,
yeah.
honestly.
I was like,
But no, but you barely see anyone. Like
yeah,
definitely not Man City. No way.
no,
I've never seen people walking around in Man City kits ever. And Tottenham, they've been coming out the woodworks. And I've
yeah.
seen guys that like are like
They're doing
50,
that.
60 years old when in Spurs shirts. It's like, where were you in 2005? You weren't wearing that shirt. Why are you coming out now, man? Just put it back away. Like,
No, well, they're bottled. Nah, you know what? There's us guys talking about our problems, but then there's Spurs, man. Then there's freaking Tottenham on another level of want to plummet it down as well. One of the biggest bottle jobs ever, man.
But you know what? Wouldn't you prefer to have Daniel Levy running your club than the bloody clowns we have? Because let me put it this way: I don't. Daniel Levy is not going to win you anything, but you're going to run properly. Like as a financial, even forget just as a business, as a club, like Tottenham are in tip top shape financially. Like, have you looked at them on the financial charts?
Yeah, but it depends on the ambition of the club, man. Because if you want to win stuff as well, like that is 50% of the job. Like the finances, but then he's a stingy man as well.
Oh yeah, he's terrible. He's
And
terrible.
then it would have, I think, it would have worked. Like for example, I mean, if he, it's hard to flip and produce Barcelona class academy. Not everyone does that.
Hmm.
I mean that Pedri. I don't think it's Barcelona academy though. I got Pedri the ball.
What,
Sick
the
man.
winger, right?
The no centre CM. I think he's like Iniesta Xavi's type player.
Oh right, okay. Oh no, yeah, I think I was thinking of someone else. Because
Beast player,
wait,
man.
who does he play for? Barcelona.
Barca. He played in the
Yeah,
Euros.
because
Really
they've
stuff.
got a few. They've got like a new young left winger. There's that I think he's a black guy, Asim
MT.
Fati or something like that.
Fatty, yeah, yeah.
He was pretty good. Yeah, that's why I was confused. Yeah, because they've got like a few that have popped up again, that have come around again. They've got a few new players coming through, man.
They got a good bunch of players, man. But yeah. Well, let's see how well they got it. But look at the European Super League. I mean, well, they if you look at the thing with Barcelona, they have it's a necessity for academy players because they can't
Mm.
afford shit. Can't it's terrible. Like Messi reduced half 50% of his salary.
Yeah, it's great.
You
You'd never
can
think that was gonna happen, man.
respect him for commitment. I can understand that.
Yeah,
He could have gone to Man City if he wanted to, and they would have signed him.
I would
You
have
know,
loved to have seen that. I would have preferred that, to be honest with you.
well,
I wanted to see if Messi could do it at in the Premier
see,
League. Yeah,
bro, no one would be touching City for about 2 3 years, easy, man.
yeah, that would
Easy.
be nuts. Oh no, actually, I'm forgetting. Then Arsenal would have to play Messi twice a year. Forget that, man.
Like he's screw you, he's screw Russell, he's screw everyone, but he just like that. Then I'll be like, see if Messi's coming in, Ronaldo's got to come back.
Oh yeah, you know what? Wouldn't you take that? Can you imagine seeing
Happy for him.
Yeah, imagine seeing Ronaldo and Messi in the Premier League. Even like, how old is Ronaldo now? 36.
36, yeah.
Yeah,
Still doing all right.
yeah. Better
Still
than
doing pretty
Bale
decently.
anyway, man.
Huh?
Better than Bale. Bale was shit.
Bell's
Terrible,
been
man.
nowhere to be seen since his final against Liverpool in 2018. Not been around.
3 years ago, man.
3 years ago, man.
Jesus.
But to be fair, bro, Ronaldo, I think there's a level, what level of invincibility about someone. There has been a chink
Mm.
in Ronaldo a little bit.
Yeah,
Like
he's broken, man.
he's still banging in. You get 35 goals from a season, it's definitely, but that's still
Yeah,
bloody
which is
amazing.
mad
Like
for a 40-year-old.
it's coming towards he's on the late side of his days now, but
Yeah.
but he's obviously with Juventus. Like, you know what? Part of me felt like he should have stayed at Madrid another year or two. I think in 2019 when they got knocked out to Ajax, they just lost to Ajax. I think they would. I reckon Madrid would have won another Champions League in 29 if he stayed another season. They could have had a chance. They had probably one extra goal then,
Mm.
but I think after that they were pretty finished, man. Madrid.
Madrid is
Uh,
just another one. Oh yeah, have you seen how fucked they are financially? Like they're having to they
yeah,
are literally, I don't think they particularly want to sell anyone, but they're basically just like anyone that they can sell towards the end of the window. I think you'll see like at least two players leaving because they're just the whole Spanish league. Like, you know what's funny as well? Just for like from the Premier League example. So England was there with like the massive TV revenue for like so long, so they were able to pinch all of the
right.
other clubs from Europe. Now all the players from Europe, now all of those European clubs can't afford to buy anyone that the Premier League's trying to offload because the Premier League pay them on stupid wages. And like when all of these clubs are coming in and lowballing them with offers, the Premier League's getting all peed off. Like, oh, you got to pay the price, blah, 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 blah. And it's like you've been
Yeah,
pinching their talent for years and been living in an overinflated bubble because of the TV revenue. And like
yeah,
it's all coming full circle. And the only teams really that could ever compete with the Premier League financially were Barcelona and Real Madrid,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And because of COVID, they've just crashed. Like they're done. They've been so
yeah.
reckless.
Well,
It's unreal.
yeah. And God knows on the recovery how well it's gonna go because that's gonna be the only that's gonna be the main barrier. If they can, COVID is not going to get sorted out quickly. And you know, I know like Varane, he's still in Spain. He's going to quarantine when he comes there because Spain's still a bad COVID situation. Barca and Madrid are done, man.
Yeah.
And you know
For a
what?
while.
Look, Premier League, right? We've got all the best managers in the world in this country right now. Pep,
Yeah, that's
Klopp,
nuts actually.
Tuchel. They've all won champions.
Mikel Arteta.
Oli Solskjaer, the Gollum.
Oh
You know,
god.
they're all
Yeah.
here. But they're all here, yeah? Like, how many outside right now? Coleman, it's not all that. Who's Madrid's manager?
I don't even know.
Ancelotti. Okay, Ancelotti.
Oh yeah, Ancelotti. Yeah,
he
fair
was
enough.
here. He was here, and he's only because of Everton. If he was at like United, Chelsea, he would have probably left. He might have stayed there. If there
Yeah,
was a
he
good
would have
player.
stayed. Yeah.
Who else? I mean, Bayern Munich, Klinsmann, the
Uh,
guy who's the guy who just came from RB Leipzig. He's still to prove
yeah,
himself. He's a
he's
decent
good.
manager, but he's not like he's got a flipping CV of trophies like they're
No.
doing in the Premier League.
Who have Ajax got?
Don't know. That's all.
I don't count Mourinho. He's done.
He's done.
He's finished.
But he just came from the Premier League as well. And then the
Yeah.
only other one I can think of is Allegri from Juventus. He's gone back.
Oh
to
yeah, of
Juventus.
course. Oh, Conte.
Italy. Oh yeah, and
Those are the
Conte
two.
and
Those are
well,
the two.
He left. Didn't he? He's a free agent now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm forgetting. Yeah.
And Zidane's a free agent. But you know what though? Honestly, I guarantee if a league position came up in Premier League, any of them would take 100.
Oh yeah.
This is the place, and you know what? Yeah, unless La Liga catch up in some way of revenue, because the only way they can do is having people back in the stadium, which I don't think will happen a while in some of these places.
No.
I think the Premier League will dominate the Champions League for another 4 or 5 years yet, minimum. I really feel like that.
You see, this is
Unless
what's
you get on
pissing me off.
Atletico Madrid Bayern with 1 or 2 seasons, I think.
Yeah.
I think what we will see is I think in the semis you get at least 2 Premier League sides, 3 Premier League sides. City are there.
The squads are too big as well.
Squads are too big. Liverpool,
You can't compete against that depth, man.
See, compare 2 first teams. It's mad.
You know what? On the topic of Liverpool, what do you think they're going to do this year? Because they haven't. I've not paid any attention to them because I couldn't care less, to be honest with you. But they haven't really made too many signings, have they? And their squad was like wrecked last year because of injuries to 2 players, basically.
Well, they got Konate now. Konate, from what I know, because I remember Upamecano was the most talked about. He's on Bayern.
Yeah.
Konate was his other defensive partner.
Oh shit! I haven't been paying attention. They actually when did he join Bayern?
He joined back in February, bro, for March.
Oh,
yeah, pre-agreement. pre-agreement.
Tells you how much attention I place on transfers, really.
Yeah,
it's a circus, man.
Bayern are smart, bro. They get their shit done, man. And they Bayern are known to do stuff in season.
Yeah, that's true.
Even Lewandowski got. I remember they all before the transfer window started when they got him. But I was saying, yes, Upamecano is more talked about. Now you asked about Liverpool. Konate has an injury record from RB Leipzig. He's gone there. I don't know if there were short-term injuries or it's just something he's always had because he's still very young. I believe he's like in his early 20s. But he's a beast of a defender. When United played them early last year, we won 5-0 at Old Trafford, and we somehow we were knocked down the group stage. And we won the first 2 games, 6, and we still lost. But he was beast though. What I saw of him, he was a very good defender. Generally, they say
he's for Leipzig, isn't he? He was at Leipzig, yeah.
He's from RB, yeah. He's a good defender, but the thing is, coming back to the injuries, Liverpool fans do say, "Oh yeah." Well, not all of them. Some of them saying, "Oh yeah, we're back now." But I'm like, you know what? An ACL injury rupture. I've had that injury.
Yeah,
I've had surgery on it.
Man. That's serious.
Van Dijk had the ACL injury. Trust me, it's hard to recover from and get back to 100%, man. Most people don't. Michael Owen Hargreaves. A lot of these players don't come.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's more to do here. Trust me, it's a hard psychological barrier to get over. And you know what?
No, I know, because I did some stuff to my ligament as well. I never tore it, never ruptured it. Like my girlfriend ruptured her leg as well, her knee as well. And like that always pops out. But I get it. You know, when you're doing stuff and it's anything stupid and you try and like put any kind of explosive like force into your knee. I mean, even like you try to quickly walk somewhere and you just feel your knee tweak. You're like, whoa, hold on a minute. Like, whoa. I'm not going anywhere near that, man. I know that feeling. Or like you go to do a squat or something and you just feel like your knee's about to pop out. You're like, oh, forget this, man.
Forget that, man. Oh, dude, it's a scary injury, man.
It's years to recover from that properly, really and truly.
And like for Van Dijk, yeah, as obviously as a human, I don't wish any bad. I hope he comes back well and he recovers well and stuff, enjoys his football. But it will be a very hard. It's over the hill. Like it's gonna be a hard one to climb. Well, I'll even
Yeah.
say the mountain then for him to get back to what he was. But Van Dijk was absolutely pure class before his injury.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, man. But didn't
I
he
know,
have injury problems in his career early as well?
not really, not that I'm aware of. I
I
mean,
thought he had an ankle problem or something like that. I don't know.
if he did, I mean, he generally played most games for Liverpool over the last 2, 3 seasons prior to him getting that injury in last year September. Because the
Yeah.
was it is it Matip or Gomez? Was it Gomez? What's the
Matip, I
rest of them?
think, was injured.
Yeah,
What,
so
the
they've
other
had
centre back for them?
all injured. They're all injured. I
Yeah.
mean,
Wasn't Henderson
Fabinho,
having to cover? Henderson was
Henderson
playing
having,
centre back at times.
yeah, same with Fabinho, and then that leaves no CDM. So, like they go if they keep the defenders fit, yeah, I think, and Henderson as well. If they keep the play squad fit, I think they will challenge for the title. As much I hate Liverpool with a passion, but you know what? Respect where it is. Yeah, they're a brilliant side, man. They're better than United.
Do you think they
Even
have
if
the
we had a
depth though?
CDM and they play full strength, they're better than us. Huh?
But do you think they have the depth in the squad though?
Maybe
Because like
challenge
Liverpool
for.
fans were saying that they were missing out in midfield or something. Because think if their forwards get injured, right? Let's say Salah gets injured and Mane goes down with COVID for a month. Who's coming in? I know they have Shaqiri.
Firmino, Jota. That's it, isn't it? I mean, who else is there?
Oh yeah, I
I
forgot they got Jota. Yeah, okay.
I mean, who else? Depends which Jota turns up. Jota from Liverpool, Jota from the Euros, because Jota missed some sitters in the Euros, man. After this, he lost in that Belgium. Was it Belgium game? I think.
Belgium are
Belgium.
just a serial bottle jobs. Like I don't think they're ever going to do anything.
Who?
Belgium.
Wow, but you know what? They're class, they're golden generation. Even company was there from 2018, the World Cup and 2016 Euros. Golden generation. Their bottle job is the same as England 15 years ago. Lampard,
Yeah, that's
Gerrard,
the thing.
Scholes. And
Their
you know the
golden
irony is, yeah,
generation's done, man.
because they haven't got a team unit. I mean, they were good in 2016 or 2018, to be fair, but this couldn't be that last line. Similar to England, but we've got much better. England have gone much better as a team. Like we did, we beat Germany. No, we played Croatia. We played ex-champions, World Cup champions, ex-World Cup finalists on the way there. Italy, we could have done them if we played a bit more different.
That was Southgate. That was Mikel Southgate, man. Honestly. Seriously,
once
watching England was like
second
watching
half,
Arsenal.
huh?
Watching England was like watching Arsenal. Seriously, it was that boring.
Solskjaer, bro. No subs. And then you decide to put Sancho and Rashford on at the end and then decide with 1 minute to go, stick a penalty. No, you need him 10, 15 minutes. Let him warm up. I reckon they would have scored. One of them would have definitely scored. Yeah. And
Rashford would have scored.
Huh?
Rashford would have scored, and I'm sorry, Saka should never ever. If you have any common sense, the guy has never ever taken a professional penalty in his life. So don't put him there. Saka, he's never taken a penalty ever professionally.
He's too young as well. You can't rest the shoulders of the nation on the final of a major Euro championship on a 19-year-old.
No, I was just thinking when you were saying that, even like a 19-year-old Messi or Ronaldo, I don't recall them ever doing something like that at that age. They may have, but I'm talking like, think that's the equivalent of a World Cup or apart from like Pele or Maradona, who takes a penalty in that scenario? Be real. Ibrahimovic would have the nuts, but who else?
But to be honest, a lot of these guys develop like confidence and the grit and stuff later in life. But that's with experience. They haven't got experience. A lot of these players. Ronaldo, I think back in Euro 2004, maybe was it a penalty shootout or 2006? Sure. I think he took a penalty. He would have been by 19 or 20 years old then. But I don't think he took the last one. He probably took the second one.
But see, like a young Michael Owen, I think could handle that. A young Wayne Rooney, because a 19-year-old Wayne Rooney was like a 40-year-old man anyway. So
yeah, he's a fucking beast player.
But he was an animal, that guy. He was an animal.
But you know what? Grealish or Luke Shaw should have taken it. Grealish was confident. He said he wanted it. Luke Shaw was in the form of his life. Pick a corner, smack one in, man.
Well, you know one thing you'd say? If that was Germany, they're not letting a 19-year-old take that.
100. No experience. You know what?
No way.
It should be your most experienced players and players who practice. You need to prioritize players who practice and again good shots but they got experience as well. Then you your first five. Because Ronaldo now takes the last one. He's probably going to score. I don't remember the last time I've seen Ronaldo miss a penalty. I don't remember.
He's just too much of an animal for that. But it's like You know the other thing as well, like obviously penalties is with the psychological element is kind of oh, I just saw it's been like 45 minutes. What time do you
Yeah,
want to
we've got a few more minutes to start running
cool,
up.
cool. All right, let's skip past all that shit. Right. What do you see for United? Where do you think you're gonna finish?
Okay, depends on the transfer. If we get a solid CDM and of the options we're looking at, Camavinga, Ruben Neves, Sol Noguez, if we got someone like Neves who can distribute the ball well and stuff, we can win a lot more tight games. See, solid CDM, I'd probably say title challenge. But even then, I don't think we'll win it. I think we can get a good solid second with the title challenge.
Where do
If
you
we
think your
dominate,
squad ranks? Like, forget league finish. Where do you think your squad ranks compared to all the other top six? Well, I mean, we may as well just call it top five. Forget Arsenal.
along with Tottenham, like out of the five, where we currently rank?
Yeah, where do you think, like, just player for player, where do you think your squad ranks? Forget the manager and the tactics, just player for player.
Third or fourth, man. And I'm being very ruthless with third or fourth. I think last year, second was a false standing. Not false one, but if Liverpool played normally, they would have got second
Mm,
spot. Tuchel came in halfway and they nearly caught us up. If Tuchel was at the start, we would not have got second or third. And if Liverpool played like they normally did, no injuries. Tuchel was at the start of the season, which both would more likely happen. Those scenarios now, no less injuries. Tuchel full season. We're not. I think we need a CDM. We could probably push for a tower challenge because that's how important that role is.
yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
changes everything. But like I think as it stands, we're probably third or fourth, man.
Yeah, I was just thinking about squads. I would say objectively, Man City obviously are above everyone.
City.
If
I
we're
thought Liverpool.
saying, yeah, if we're saying with no injuries, definitely Liverpool second, I would think.
I agree.
Then the problem for me then is like who do you think's Chelsea's attack is kind of failing? So I would say Man United have a better attack, player for player.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think then Chelsea's midfield is a bit better than us. It
Yeah,
depends because you got Fernandez, but you know the defensive side of Chelsea is brilliant. Like
yeah, that's the thing.
Tuchel sets it up well. Like Champions League, they only conceded 2 goals apparently in the whole of the tournament last year.
Yeah,
Is that true?
yeah,
Two
yeah.
goals.
It was Kante, man. When you got on fire Kante, forget it.
CDM,
Just
exactly.
forget
A
it.
solid CDM wins you tight games.
Yeah, or you
We
could sign
play,
Granit Xhaka, man.
huh?
Or you could sign Xhaka. Villa. Come on, even on that topic actually, because I don't really rant about Wenger anymore. But think Wenger was Mr. Frenchy, right? He got all of the young French talent, unknown French talent, blah 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 blah. So he had the choice to go for like the next. He's kind of like a way better than Lasana Diarra, or like call him Claude Makelele, whatever. He's the
Oh,
next
Makelele,
bald
bloody
black
beast,
guy
man.
from France to come out and tear it up, and he went with Swiss cheese. Like I know they talked about the agent fee and stuff, but if you, I forget. I'm not going to go on to go down that.
It's yeah, we can go through a whole deep tunnel with all this. Same with United, man. I just don't talk about it because I'm just fed up with it. But
Yeah, same. It's exasperated, man.
to be honest, but based on what you said, I think I reckon if you go with the current squad, I think we'll finish third,
Okay,
maybe about 10. I think it'll be similar number of points off as this season. Obviously, we were 12 points behind. If we get a solid
that's not too
CDM,
bad.
yeah, but you know what, bro? We need to start progressing. You know the problem is United ball transfers, yeah. We need three, so we got three holes to fill in the squad. We saw out one or two. Then the following season, something happens in another position, and then we fill out the one we were supposed to fill in the season before. We leave the new one, and then there's always something to fill in. You don't have a
Yeah,
complete
yeah,
like okay, like in a year's time. Say we got like we don't get a CDM, yeah. Next year we're like we need a CDM, but like Cavani's retiring or he's gone. Okay, we need a striker now.
yeah,
Like something pops
yeah,
out,
yeah.
you know.
Well, look,
So
that's Arsenal. We've got like a load of reasonably young centre backs, I guess. Well, the
well,
goalkeeper
Gabriel's
position
good.
is
I like
fucked.
Gabriel.
He's a bit shaky though.
He can be a bit
He
shaky,
needs a bit
but
experience. He needs more experience, I think, but he'll be all right.
give him another. I think he's had a season to embed in, but Gabriel, I think is a good defender, man. He's pretty decent.
Well, the thing
Yeah,
is as well, with any defender
Saka's good.
like adjusting to the league, the whole defense and midfield is a shambles. So what are you supposed to do?
You got me Partey. How do you think Partey's done? Because I know Odegaard's gone back to Madrid, but I don't know if you're still trying to renegotiate another loan or buying him.
Yeah, yeah.
Odegaard's pretty beast player, but
Odegaard's
Partey,
good.
well, how do you feel he's gone?
He was injured, and that's the club's fault because he should have had a full preseason, and they thought they were being
Mm.
smart, and they did fuck all for the whole window because You know what? They were probably trying to keep their cards close to their chest. Like people have been complaining this year they haven't got the business done early, but no one's buying. It's a COVID market, so everyone's effed. And like you don't go out and drop 80 million on someone when you know towards the end of the window there could be 7, 8, 9 players that you could get cheaper. Like it doesn't make sense. So you got to keep you have to play the market how it turns out. But
Yeah, but
like
this is why you need to have smart football people in place who can
yeah,
pick out the bargains.
yeah, exactly. No, you know
Liverpool are
what?
wicked at it.
Edu's done
Liverpool
pretty
go for
well.
like mad deals for cheap.
I think Edu's done all right though, to be honest, so far. Like I don't particularly
He's
like some of
he's
the
been
shit he
better.
said personally, but it's been an improvement at least.
Yeah, I've seen that as well. Like he's like I remember your transfer in the last year. Like, you're getting pretty good players, man.
Yeah,
Obviously, just
Tavares has looked good.
unfortunately, like some ways, some aspects, he's not turned up and stuff. I think maybe still half is his manager as well, like
No, but
tactics.
see, but look at the midfielders though. Look at the midfield we have. So Partey's injured, right? And I think Partey will do fine. He was just injured. But apart from Partey, Xhaka, El Neni, Smith Rowe, who I don't have a problem with, but he's a young kid, and Lokonga, who we just brought in, who's again young. Like Partey twists his ankle against Chelsea straight away. Okay, we've been 7 minutes since we said we'd be 2 minutes, but straight
Yeah,
away,
yeah,
yeah, we'll do it after this. But straight away, you're like, oh, so the midfield's fucked because you're relying now on like a 22-year-old or whatever he is who's just come into the league and
mm,
fucking El Sideways and Xhaka.
I don't know.
Like, how can you go into this season? We've had Xhaka join in like 2016, I think, and so did El Neni. It's been 5 years. They're still starting in midfield. What the fuck, man? How is
It's
this
no
possible?
progress. This is where you have to be. This is an evaluation. I just say, well, you are shit. With all the respect, you need to get out, get rid of it. We have the same problem, man. We have the same problem. We just got people lurking around just on wages. It's called a mates race, isn't it? Mates game. Oh, you're nice to have around. You're a football club. You want to win stuff. We don't have to be nice to nicey. Get out.
But you know what, though? Seriously, when they're playing some of these clowns like Bellerin at right back or Kolasinac,
Yeah, it's our
literally, you
position,
may as
man.
well save yourself money, pay me 500 quid a week, pay you 500 quid a week, and I'll play right back and you can take left back. It's no difference. Seriously, they're just as bad. We'd be just as shit. And I can't, you know, when you laugh about Xhaka not being able to play a square ball, I'm so crap. I can't play that square ball. I'm that bad. Like if I pass the ball and it goes to someone that I intended to, it's like I'm surprised, particularly if I'm in a competitive match. You may as well play me at right back. Or
Yeah,
no, you're better at football than me. You take right back and I'll cover for Kolasinac at left back. And there's no difference. Seriously.
exactly.
Seriously.
And this is the thing, man. Like fans see stuff and people say, yeah, but you're not the manager. But I'm like, it's pretty. If everyone's saying it, sometimes you get pundits saying it, like they
Mm.
see the same stuff. It's like it just it baffles me with like managers across the like why they don't see certain things. But then is it like that the manager does know about it, but then the board say no, and that's more likely the
Yeah.
case. There's a good chance of that.
Yeah,
There's
and
a
then
good chance of
obviously
that.
they've got a cover up for the big corporation because they have a public face to save and all the rest of that shit. But
So which is very hypocritical because the reputation of a football club is based on performances, and if you're gonna
yeah,
not provide the
exactly.
correct resources, look at TeamViewer. We got a new sponsor. Then this is probably the first dip we've had in our commercial revenue.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, yeah.
We had a
Which is
dip.
saying for Man United as well, because you guys are like steamrollers when it comes to commerciality, man.
We've actually had a drop. We've had a drop in the yearly revenue from these guys. I think it used to
Mm.
be, I forgot how much it was, but I think it was 60, 70, 80 million, something like that with Chevrolet or something. I can't remember what it was. Now it's down to like 55. I think we've dropped by 5, 6 mil a year or something from purely because we haven't won stuff. We just
Yeah.
haven't won things. Adidas will lose 75 million for each year we don't qualify for the Champions League. That's in the
75. Damn.
as in like 75 in the sense that we don't give it to them. We gain 75, I think, from getting
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah,
Only
I get
because
what you
we're in the
mean. That's
Champions League, the
crazy.
audience massive goes up and they get mad
Yeah.
revenue. So we get paid that amount from what I know. But we lose that much. We miss out on getting that much for not being in the Champions League.
But see, this is what I don't get about Kroenke because he's in it for a long-term investment, and I get he doesn't want to spend any money, but it's like you're hurting your own Like, wouldn't you at least want to secure the club in the top four? Because right now it's just like burning a hole in his pocket, and it's just like, oh, whatever. I'll just take out a bank loan. It's like you know what? I actually get Kroenke because he's kind of clever because all he's doing is using his assets to leverage finance and just take on debt. which is what the wealthy do. That's how you make money, not by spending it, but it's a football club,
This is it.
like by
They see
JD
it as an
Sport.
asset. They see it as an asset. It's not. They don't see it as a something to you know. It's just money to them. They don't care about the football. As long as you're in the Premier League or you within a certain range, that they don't care about anything else.
No,
Because
no.
they know there has to be some degree of it, but they won't have be ambitious enough to challenge for a league title or go for a Champions League. They're not that level of it. No.
Don't you think even just like look at his face? He looks so snidey, man.
Yeah.
Like
You know,
he's
you know
just
what? You know what I think he is. Yeah, sounds like it's so random though. He looks like you know how we always talk about like these federal banks and private banks and stuff, yeah?
yeah, he looks like one of them,
Like the
man.
JP Morgans and all these
Yeah,
freaking Rothschild. He looks like he's like a part of that sort of crew, man.
yeah,
He looks
yeah.
like one of
Just
those
like one of
private bank
those,
scammers. He looks
yeah, one
that
of those
sort.
really depraved ones as well.
Yeah, yeah. Like the
Really
ones
depraved.
who run the system in the back. He looks like one of those
Yeah,
guys.
yeah. The one or like the ones that are rigging the market, and then all of a sudden you see the Great Depression, and he's just sitting there, just rubbing his hands together, looking at his stock portfolio going up or something, man.
He's like, yep, oil drop,
Yeah, exactly.
smack it,
Honestly,
boom.
man, guy's such a wanker. But
Yeah.
yeah. So we've run for like 57 minutes, and we said half an hour, so that's good.
You know
That's
what?
good.
But I know, yeah, you never run a content on content on it. Never. You know why?
No.
Yeah, it's purely because like we all love football.
Mm.
Each week there's a football game news. There's nothing to stop talking about,
Yeah, exactly. It's
and we're
non-stop,
passionate
man.
about it.
Yeah,
And I said
exactly.
this to you, it would go on. Like I knew it would happen, and you know when I say they're talking about it, we can go on
Oh yeah, all day, man. All day.
all day.
But you know what? I think on the next one we should compare the managers. Because
Okay.
compare the managers.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I think both managers are not good
Go,
enough, really.
Golan versus Arteta.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so you can bring, or should we do it the flip side? I'll defend Ollie and you can defend Arteta.
It's just gonna be a lot easier for you, man. I don't know rough for it, but like he's got second, isn't it?
Yeah, no,
Well,
yeah, you take
you know, I can
Arteta,
argue
man.
some stuff for Arteta. There's some things I could argue for definitely, but we'll not save that. We'll save that for our next call.
Yeah, man. But yeah, thanks for that.
No problem.
Yeah, this has been great. We should have done this years ago, honestly. We
Bro, we
should have
got
done this
fucking
so
do a
long ago,
channel, bro,
man.
from 2012, man. Because
Yeah,
I know Mark
definitely.
Goldbridge started United sign in 2015. Bro, he's got links, bro. This guy's interviewed
Mm,
Ryan Giggs. He has freaking what's with Andy Cole. Sometimes he's on a Zoom call with him. He's at Teddy
yeah.
Sheringham. I'm just like,
I rate
shit.
these players though, because Arsenal have a few that go on these talks as well.
Yeah.
Like,
Where
yeah,
like Ian
because
Wright maybe? Or
Ian Wright does sometimes, but more Kevin Campbell, Jack Wilshere's done a few. Um, I think Fabregas was on Ars blog as well, which was interesting. So
yeah.
like I'm glad that the players like keep in touch because the clubs don't give a shit. Like they don't give a shit at all. But I can already tell now we're gonna go on for like another 2 hours. So let's just leave it at that.
Yeah.
And whatever the next episode is, and we need to figure out a name, which we'll have to do. But
What name of what?
for the podcast, man.